Dad's reply was priceless. Rosie just bit my frickin' balls.
Oh.
How welcome to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. I'm your host, Duncan Hyde. This is Tegan Lilly.
Yes.
A better looking version of Jay, who is away, and we will catch up with Jay during this podcast.
Yes.
He's been under the weather as far as his testicles go.
Oh, yeah, he's really been battling.
If you are new to this podcast, caution, it will contain some swearing. Not a heap in today's episode, but just we use it where it's needed. And sometimes it's fucking needed. We're going to cracking war story from a 16-year-old out of the UK. Hearing her old man listen to the podcast on the way to school, which is just awesome.
Yeah, we got some great feedback, which has been sent through to us or left on comments on some of our videos that we finally have gotten to.
One of our new favourite comedians absolutely fucking serves an idiot on her morning exercise. Just like a stupid comment gets chucked at her while she's doing something. She's absolutely destroys them. It's so good. We've got also a real chunky feedback session. There's heaps of stuff that's been sitting there we've been meaning to read out. And Teagues, you're going to start off with a beautiful war story.
Yeah.
Enjoy the potty.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
Righto, Teagues, what do you got?
This one is from Laura Croydon in the UK with the category of nudity. I worked in a buying office for an adult shop. I was a buyer of hard goods. It took a certain sort of person to stay working there, so the team was quite wild. We'd all seen a lot. Our nights out were pretty crazy, and the local pub would brace themselves when we arrived. Think quaint little quiet UK country pub. The pub sat on a hill in the middle of two roads. The two roads that ran either side went downhill and joined together at the bottom by a big roundabout. It had a small triangular garden out the front, perfect for after-work drinks on a hot Friday night, which enjoyed the view of both roads. This particular Friday, I had to be somewhere else around 8 p.m, which gave me around 2 hours to speed drink with my office pals before catching a bus at the top of the hill. A few bottles of wine later, it was time to leave. I saw a bus coming and ran up the hill to catch it. As my heart rate increased and blood started pumping, I realised I was bloody well pissed. Coming down the hill in a bus, I thought it would be hilarious to moon my work pals. If you don't know what a moon is, it's like pulling down your pants and showing people your naked bum.
Ham.
Who were all still outside in the garden enjoying their evening. I waited until the bus was nearly level with them and pulled down my trousers and pants and pushed my ass against the massive window next to them. It was at this point the bus braked at the roundabout to let traffic coming from the right go, and me still holding on to my trousers, arms by my side. The sudden stop sent me head first into a perspex screen dividing the passengers from the front of the bus and knocked me out.
Yes! Yes!
I came to lying on my side on the bus floor, still holding my trousers and laughing to myself. I pulled everything up and quickly sat down, realising that we were actually quite a distance from the pub.
Oh my god.
So she'd been out for a while. Oh my goodness. I looked behind me for the first time to see a full bus of horrified onlookers.
Did a full bus?
With mums covering kids' eyes and everything. I sat in shame for quite a long journey with a big egg forming on my forehead. To my left, as the windows started steaming up, a perfect outline of my ass cheeks started appearing. And in front of me on the perspex screen, a perfect outline of my squished up face, capturing the moment of impact. The story became legend in the office. From their point of view in the pub garden, 1 minute my giant white ass was there. The next second it was gone. They have no way of knowing what happened until Monday because this was pre-mobile phone.
Oh, this is so good.
I became quite notorious for mooning after that. My wedding cake toppers had me mooning on them about 3 years later. Wow, Laura, that's awesome.
Oh, Laura.
That is amazing.
A couple of turbo Chardonnays done herself an absolute beauty.
That's awesome.
Far out.
Well, there's a hip, hop, hippity hip hop, flip it up, oh, bollocks. fuck it, not for radio.
I just realised, Atomic, can you jump on that link? And I'm going to text Jay now, tell him to get on it, because we haven't done a Jay update, and this is obviously a public episode. By the way, record month last month for Not For Radio. Huge amount of downloads. People bloody loving it. And Spotify video going absolutely berserk, apparently. So, Jay Reeve, he would have forgotten 100%. He didn't seem as whacked on all the drugs. And for those that don't know, he's been in hospital for an enlarged testicle. Jump on, bro. I was chatting to a mate yesterday, and I ended up being buckled in the car park for like 10, 15 minutes because he's like, what's going on with Jay? This is our mate Tilly. And I was like, oh,
Does
man.
duck shooting Tilly?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he's done himself an absolute mischief. I was like, and sort of explaining it. And then I was like, oh, he tried to have elective nut removal.
Yeah.
And he just fucking lost it. And then that got me going. And we're laughing for like 5 minutes. And I was like, this is why I was late yesterday walking into the office.
Yeah.
Tears streaming down both sides of my face. And then he manages to get out in the middle of it. He's like, I have never heard that collection of words put together in that order from a man in my fucking life.
Oh, it's definitely a unique situation, isn't it?
Oh, shit, yes. Oh, here he is, the big fella.
How are we?
Oh, mate, better than you, but that's easy because you've in horizontal recovery. So I'll chuck a postcard version of what's been going on with Jay out there, and then you can give us the update. So basically, Jay has had an enlarged testicle, sort of probably something that's been bubbling away in the background. And then he pasted it with his longboard while surfing out on the west coast of Auckland. And then it swelled up massively, went to hospital, got out of hospital, then finished his meds, antibiotics, and then it swelled up again, and then you ended up in hospital again. And immense amounts of pain. I think the quote was, from the nipple to the knee, enormous amounts of pain. And so you've been on house arrest for the last couple of days. What is the update? No, first, how big did the testicle get? And then what's the update?
Okay. So it was fucking wild. So Sunday, when it all really went pear-shaped, so I've been going so good, and I thought that I was kind of on top of it. I probably didn't, believe it or not, listen to what the doctors said intently enough when they said just take it easy. My version of take it easy and their version of take it easy, two rapidly different things. And so I ended up doing myself a massive mischief on Sunday. It was like I got out on Wednesday, and was walking in Fashion Week Thursday, so there was some kilometres put under the hoof then. Friday, not too dissimilar. Kept a nice lid on it. Last game of footy Saturday with the kids. Raced around the place. Then when I saw my nephew play Rankin Cups and more kilometres with mum and dad. And then by Saturday night, things were really starting to grow. And I was like, well, it's pretty classic. And then it started to ache like a bastard. And I was like, this is not so classic. Then I didn't sleep at all on Saturday night. And so by the time I made the call to go to the hospital Sunday morning, if you were to just basically measure from the base of the palm of your hand, where it basically joins your forearm, to the tip of your middle finger on a fucking man-sized hand, that was the external half, what would be the radius, or half of the circumference, basically. So from the tip of my nut to the top of it, from the base to the top, was the length of my hand. So it literally was like the size of a fucking mango. And not only that, is it because I'd been squashing it through the night, it was like flat on one side. It was like pointed. It literally looked like the rock that Obelix carries around with fucking Asterix and Obelix.
Oh.
Yeah, and it hurt like a bastard. So I went in and then had a joyful 9-hour wait and accident and emergency, which was great because I got to see the absolute perils of what the healthcare system has to face. The guy shat himself, didn't shit himself. He pulled his pants out, took a shit in the middle of the reception, and then wiped his ass, and then was asking everyone what to do with the shit paper. Another lady snored like a chainsaw for the entire time we were in there, in a wheelchair, hopped up, shit and pissed herself, and it was just soaking through her pants. Saw a prison inmate come in with 3 guards, tied to him. He'd had the absolute living fuck beaten out of him, and I saw everything in between. Heard a drug deal go down behind me with a Russian fella and a person who works for a labour hire setup. He was in there with spider bite. Fucking, it was all on. It was great.
Who's doing a drug deal and accident emergency? That's so rogue.
Yeah, it was pretty classic. He was in there with the Russian dude was in there with what did he have? Basically collapsing lungs. It was interesting to say the least. But went in there, same thing again, pumped full of IV. Went straight to urology, got my nuts manhandled by about 30 odd people. I reckon half of them didn't even fucking work at the hospital. Most of them were just visiting people on the ward that I was staying in. I fucking chuck a mask on, have a grab, which I didn't mind. Completely desensitized to this. And then now, I literally have to be, I had to be horizontal for, they say flat for 48, which is we just literally don't move because it doesn't drain away for whatever reason. It's kind of like a little catchment area where when fluid gets into it and when things really start to swell, there's just not a lot of runoff.
Yeah.
So I had to sit there and then also have it parked up. I had the greatest nurse staff. In the middle of a nursing
strike
protest as well. Yeah, they striked out, which is good. I'd fucking give them every single penny they want. They're worth their weight in gold. So things are pretty slim, and they're like, if you can promise to lie flat, we can fuck you off out of here because we need the bed and we don't have the staff. So I was like, sweet, I'll go.
And so what was the measurement this morning?
Measurement this morning is probably only just a touch over double the size of the other one. So it's definitely a dramatically changed. Like I'm sitting here at the moment, which is, I set myself off on this task, and it's actually been quite good. I've been obviously watching and listening and reading and all sorts of other shit that you do when you can't move. And I stumbled upon a podcast where a guy was talking about his winning streak.
Yeah.
And so the winning streak started for me. It was like, I'll read it to you because I wrote it down for the boys too. Because obviously if the wagons get circled and everyone starts to get around you to see what's going on. And so it was, this is when I got home. I was like, we live epic lives, lads. I'm home and this is the start of my winning streak. I'll keep updating the streak as I go. So then the next day, had an amazing dinner dropped to us last night by a lady that Anna met at Fashion Week. It was unreal. Watched Chief of War in bed with my beautiful wife, which I haven't done in years, and got told by my sons that they love me more than anything on the planet as they delivered me a coffee in bed. Sun is shining, boys. The winning streak continues. And to the next one. I got messages and calls from people I haven't heard in ages, and some I hear from each day, from here in New Zealand and the craziest parts of the globe. Most I've never even met or visited, wishing me the best, a speedy recovery, and sending me love. Fuck me, boys. The winning streak continues. And then today's one, as just parked up for a coffee in the sun, as I watch the waves roll in at St Heliers, and I'm sitting on Harry Burton's bench, who passed away in 2003. They love this place wherever they go and whatever happens to them on the way. And that enchanted place at the top of the forest, a little boy and his bear will always be playing. I'm still here. Harry no longer. The fucking winning streak continues.
Oh, man. And how they had you on fentanyl, tramadol, morphine. What are you on now?
Yeah.
And how's the pain levels?
Pain levels are pretty manageable. I'm not one for pain meds. But and when I first got in there, we just couldn't get on top of it, just couldn't break the back of it. So, they gave me the full kit and caboodle. And let me tell you, fentanyl, morphine, and tramadol is one hell of a good strain. But it literally, what it does create is a beaver dam inside the body. So I hadn't crimped off a chimp's finger since fucking Saturday night.
Jeez.
And today was the first time that I managed to stir up the witch's cauldron and make his spells come out of it. So, yeah, I absolutely choked out a shitter at the local mall. Put it in a sleeper hold. It's going to be fucked.
Does it hurt when you need to use the bathroom, Jay?
Nah, not at all.
Okay, that's good.
Nah, it's I managed to, because it says to take one laxative every, don't know, well, these ones are real good ones, one every sort of 12 hours, and I went, fuck that, let's take 4.
Oh my God.
Jay,
the instructions are for pussies.
Jay, all or nothing, Reeve. And just finally, what's the actual diagnosis?
So the diagnosis is epididymitis or something. So basically the bit that goes, there's like a ribbony piece that goes from your actual testicle into, it's like your sperm tube basically. So comes out of your testicle through the epididymitis or whatever it is, and then out your pipe. and so mine somehow has got an infection in it, which has then travelled into the actual testicle itself. So I asked him, I said, well, the recovery time on this thing's 6 weeks, like for it to come back to normal. What's the recovery time on if I just get the fucking thing ripped out? Because it would be much, like, I can't be bothered fucking around with it. Like, if I go back in again and lose another week, then it's just stupid. Like, it's like if I go back in, I said, take them both.
Eunuch me! Just fucking eunuch me!
Yeah, I cannot be asked for that. So they said that it's a pretty drastic length to go to, but it's just been ongoing for that long that I'm just done with it. Like, I don't know. If you had a toe that kept getting infected, you'd chop the fucking thing off. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. It's not like I need them. So.
Oh, man, I'm all for the science experience of Jay on fucking TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, and just to see how much of a monster you can turn into. Feed the Frankenstein.
So one of the boys said, because I was like, fuck it, I'll go TRT, and he goes, holy shit. One of the boys said that he's on it, and his missus just books herself in for 3 days in a hotel when he first gets it, because he just fucks anything that moves. He just moves on to stationary objects.
Like when you go to someone's house and there's that dog and it's got that fucking used up toy.
Yeah.
Just humps the shit out of that old soft toy. All right, well, bloody good to hear, mate.
So fingers. I reckon, like, I honestly could be back and into it. But like Brad, the boss, said, he's like, I don't need you half-assed. I need you to be back full noise. So I'm stumping away on continued antibiotics, pain meds, and got a little. I'm wearing fucking tradie 5-pack undies, mate. You know, just keep everything tucked up there, nice and tight.
Oh, bloody good brand those.
Yeah, they are. I went for the expensive ones. And they have like a little pouch you just drop your junk into, but they just weren't sufficient for the nut that I was running. So it was just like, it was out of fucking control. I took some photos, so I'll show you when I get in, like when it was starting to really flare up. And this is when I went to hospital. Before I went to hospital, and in hospital, it was when it was at its peak, which I reckon would be a third bigger than the photos that I took. Yeah, it was fucked.
Oh, mate. All right, well, rest up. We'll get back to the potty. By the way, as well, we had a record month for the podcast last month.
Amazing. And before we sort of wrap this up, massive, like, inundated with people from across the planet just wishing me well, and obviously, you know, you guys are doing a great job of keeping everyone up to speed with what's going on. The Sniper Elite have been having an outpouring and asking where they can send Uber Eats to and care packages and the rest of it. Sort of, keep your powder dry, team, and we'll put those funds towards something better than me just having a fucking gigantic testicle.
It's been pretty cool though for us, but content.
Yeah. If it does get big again, I'll just max it out and then get it whipped out, and then we can formaldehyde it and put it into a jar. Or do like some form, put it in resin, so it's like just jammed up for eternity. Make a trophy out of it. Yeah,
I think what we'd do, because we've got that puffer fish supposedly on the way, so we could put the puffer fish in a fake fish tank, and then also put your nut floating around in there as well.
Yeah, just have it as a bit of coral. Yeah, for it to swim around.
and it's always like quite often you don't have a plan B, Jay. It's always good to have a plan B.
Yeah, no, there is no plan B.
No, that's it. Plan A is antibiotics and not removing your testicles like a eunuch. Yeah. And plan B is we put it in the fish tank. Oh, here he is, the big fella.
Oh, how are we?
Oh, mate, better than you, but that's easy because you've in horizontal recovery. So I'll chuck a postcard version of what's been going on with Jay out there. And then you can give us the update. So basically, Jay has had an enlarged testicle, sort of probably something that's been bubbling away in the background, and then he pasted it with his longboard while surfing out on the west coast of Auckland, and then it swelled up massively, went to hospital, got out of hospital, then finished his meds, antibiotics, and then it swelled up again, and then you ended up in hospital again. And immense amounts of pain. I think the quote was, from the nipple to the knee, enormous amounts of pain. And so you've been on house arrest for the last couple of days. What is the update? No, first, how big did the testicle get? And then what's the update?
Okay. So plan T is just take the fucking thing out and bin it.
No, you got to keep it. You've
Yeah.
got to keep it.
It would be. It would make an amazing accompaniment to anything on any mantelpiece.
Yeah, it would. And who knows? You might win a Tour de France after you remove it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I could do a couple of courses of blood doping, bit of speed and some spandex.
Oh shit! All right,
Righty,
mate.
team.
Go well.
Bye,
Keep up the great work.
We will.
Appreciate you.
Too,
All right.
mate.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too.
Love you, bye.
Cheerio.
G'day, snipers. This is from Australia, and you're listening to Not For Radio with Jay and Dunc. In the famous words of Gandhi, take it easy, and if it's easy, take it home.
I love it how he made his name and where he's from sound like one word. Tim Strayer. Amazing.
To Australia.
We're just going to do a little bit of a feedback session because there's been that much come through. And obviously, welcome to all the new podcast listeners as well. There's a huge back catalogue of the most amazing yarns that this bizarre community we've managed to build from across the globe have sent in to us and we've read out on this podcast. And we kind of made the podcast, for the most part, we were wary of the fact that we didn't want it to be super topical because we knew at some point, especially the explosion of numbers in the last month, would happen at some point. That was that was the goal. It's happened now, and we wanted to have a big back catalogue of stuff you could climb into, but not be like, oh, you're talking about the friggin' Super Rugby final from 2017 or whatever. So you can dive in wherever. You're not going to feel like you're out of place too much, and so just work your way through it. If you're new, there's a shitload of episodes. If you burn through those like plenty of people have, you can become Sniper Elite, which is the top brass. Less than $1 a month, and it'll unlock basically double the episodes ad-free as well, and video on Spotify. So, feedback. I'm just going to go to this one because we've just had something go absolutely apeshit online. It was the manatee story a couple of episodes back. I think last time I checked on TikTok had over 2 million views or something like that.
I had a look yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was at 4 point something. I'll have a look now.
4 million?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
What the fuck?
I may have that wrong. One Momo. Let me just have a little look.
It's almost had more people see it than what live in this entire country.
Oh.
3.4.
Thanks, Tom.
Incredible. Thank you, Atomic. Okay, so this is sort of related to that, but you got to listen to that yarn. Peel back through the feed list. It's on there somewhere. This from Sam Steele. When I was about 15 on camp in the sunny coast, which is Australia, during the school holidays, here I was just casually swimming in the waves at Mooloolaba, hell of a spot, when all of a sudden the sun disappeared and I woke up on the beach with a concussion and was receiving CPR. Apparently I was knocked the fuck out by a dead manatee surfing a wave.
Could you imagine watching that?
Oh my god!
Like from the shore?
You'd be like, shark!
You actually would think it's a shark.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
That is so wild. I'll get 100% get a manatee tattoo after that. I'll probably get that whole scene reenacted on a tattoo on the back of my car. People are like, what the fuck's that? It's like, that was school camp, bruh.
Yeah. I reckon a full back manatee would be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to get a good tattoo artist, otherwise you just end up looking like a giant shit on your back. This from Mike from Barry Island in South Wales. Morning, fellas and felly. Quick message with some feedback and a short request. A feedback. Great show. Crook as hell. Just like me. That's why I fit in. It never ceases to crease me up like a soggy newspaper. I'm training for an ultra marathon and always go running with you in my ears for entertainment while I'm bumbling through the trails and valleys of South Wales.
Wheels!
Request, please be much less funny. Your yarns are easily the funniest on the internet, and I spend half of the runs buckled at the waist, pissing myself laughing and unable to run. As a result, every long run I have is taking at least 30 minutes longer than I told my wife it would, and she's starting to get suspicious. She knows that 30 minutes more is more than enough time to get up to some mischief. Obviously, I jest. You guys are incredible. No idea how Teagues deals with the chaos that you peers sling at her. Thanks for making long, lonely trail runs something for us to look forward to. Go long, go hard, and up the feckin' was from Mike. Great message. Thanks, Mike.
That is a great message.
Very kind.
This one from Mick Gargett. How do, fellas, from the land of the White Rose, Yorkshire in the UK. Found your potty and me and the missus have been enjoying it. Her ladyship particularly enjoys watching Jay trying not to puke. This happened a couple weeks ago during the hot spell. Anywho, I was driving home after taking the hounds out and listening to the cricket on the radio. This had just finished and and I thought I'd put you fellas on for the rest of the journey, and me vape could do with a top-up. So I pulled over to get the potty up on my phone, and away I go on my merry way. What I hadn't noticed was the front gate I pulled up right next to, windows down, with vape now topped up in volume, not up to 11, but maybe 10.5. I put the motor into gear, handbrake off, and dropped me vape in the centre console. Doing this, I was leaning forward to someone looking into the car. They'd maybe mistaken that I was leaning towards the passenger window. I'd talk out. The little buzzer at the start of this particular potty had Dunc roaring out, "Would you have oral sex with a ghost?" Just as I was leaning to drop the vape, that was when I realised we both have the same cackling laugh just as I was pulling away. I also realised that there was a young lad coming out of the gate, struggling under his cricket coffin to go to practice at the ground just up the road. He had a bemused look on his face. His mother, though, who was right behind, most certainly did not have the same look as her son on hers. No, not at all. The timing couldn't have looked any worse as I was now pulling away. So to them, it looked like I'd pulled up outside the house, shouted, "Would you have had oral sex with a ghost?" and then legged it. I considered stopping and explaining for half a second and thought, why make the situation worse? So I headed home, still waiting for a knock on the door and being put on a dodgy register up the wires.
Oh, man, that's not the first time that's happened either.
No.
Another piece of feedback here, Kimberly. Fucking hell, my phone is vibrating up a storm.
You're so popular.
You know, when you're busy, you just get busier.
Always.
And you're like, I'm already at capacity. We've got the fucking move going on at the moment. I'm starting to load that up. Have to drop a Harley at the Harley shop today. Dixie's clearly doing something. She keeps texting. I've already told her I'm in a podcast, and she's still texting. It's like, what part of fucking I'm in a podcast did you not understand from the first text? Anyway, and you end up just feeling like you're getting squeezed from all sides.
Yes.
It's not often you're busy and then it just stops.
Yeah.
There's a real slow tail out. Anyway, that's me having a moan. I'll kick on. Kimberly Cook. Cook. Hi, would it be possible to give my partner, Luke W. from Wellingborough, a shout-out? I'm trying to get him messages and shout-outs from people on the podcast he listens to until he finally pulls his finger out and pops the question from his still girlfriend, Kimberly.
I like the still girlfriend part.
Yeah. All right. Get on with it, mate. I have no idea if she's a good catch or not, but get on with it, Luke.
She must be if she knows his favourite podcast and is messaging.
Exactly. She listens.
Yeah.
Also, as well, another shout-out. Don't normally do too many shout-outs. Should do more. Dan Cook, chef extraordinaire. Good to have you listening. I'm going to do... what have we got time for here?
We've got time for a last war story.
And this. Okay, we're just going to go to Kyla Cobbler because I saw this and it's quite short.
Okay.
We'll squeeze it in. Kyla Cobbler is a comedian and absolutely destroyed some mouthy prick on her run.
Up this morning, it's a rainy day here, but I said, you know what, I'm going to do my jog anyway. I'm just going to get it done, son. Get up, get myself organised, leave the house, stop in the shop, get a banana, fuel, my friends. Give me some fucking potassium. I meet my banana, enjoying it, minding my own business, about to choose the podcast to listen to for this wee 5K, and a gentleman approached me and said, oh yeah, you like that banana, you look like you like that banana, don't you? To which I very tenderly replied, well sir, they don't sell cock in the supermarket, so it's gonna just have to do. That's right, you little creep, you've been out creeped. How you like that power move? You implied it, I stated it. Boom, decisive. How you like them apples? Or bananas, if you will.
Oh my God, well done.
I love her.
I can't believe people are still saying that shit in 2025.
I think when you go, like something like that happens, you should just be able to fucking knock their front teeth out, kick
Honestly,
a paver loose, and just cave their skull in.
Oh, it's just
No,
gross.
you're not good enough.
Nah.
You fucking piece of
But
shit.
that is a fucking great power move, and good on her, and I'm glad she put that on the internet.
Don't sell cock in the supermarket.
Oh,
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Now, the delivery for this one might, you you might notice it's slightly different, and it will become apparent at the very end of this as to why. This is from Sophie. She's in the UK. Says, hello, Jay and Dunc. If you could please read this yarn out, not for radio, it would be amazing. P.S. I have logged into my dad's laptop. My name is Sophie from Aldwick in West Sussex in the UK. I listen to your podcast with my dad on the way to school every morning.
Gangster.
Well, for the first 20 minutes of it anyway. I love hearing the stories. They start my day with a smile on my face. When I start college in September, I'll have to spend an hour in the car, and he has promised he will become Sniper Elite. Yay! So let me tell you about my dad. I call him Dad because guess what? That's his
fucking name.
No, she wrote frickin'. She's 16.
Fair enough. Yeah, sorry, Sophie.
She goes, well, guess what? He's my frickin' dad. You can call him Chris because that's his name. His friends call him Calamity Climpson. He is, frankly, the most accident-prone person you could ever meet. A few years ago, we got our new dog, Rosie, a fox red Labrador. Dad got up one morning to let the dogs out. Bit of background information. We had 3 dogs at the time, a very old black Labrador named Star, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel named Bailey. He was born on Christmas Day, and Mum always drinks a few Baileys at Christmas. And then there was Rosie. We lost Star about 2 years ago. I still have her collar hanging in my bedroom door. Jeez, it's tough losing a dog. But we still have 3 dogs, as Rosie had puppies, and we kept one of them. So we have 2 pedigree fox red Labradors and Bailey. Before I tell you about Dad, I named the puppy Daphne. There is nothing funnier than a 6'5" man down at the beach calling a dog and saying, Daphne! Come here, Daphne! He has a really deep voice, but whenever he calls a dog, it seems to go up a few octaves. So back to the most entertaining morning. Dad, being Dad, decided not to get dressed before venturing downstairs to let the dogs out. Me, my sister, and my mum were getting ready upstairs when we heard him say, morning all, as he opened the door to let the dogs out. About 30 seconds later, we heard a scream and Dad shouting, get off, get off, get off. Then we heard a thud followed by, oh shit, get off, no. And then lots of swearing. We heard him running back upstairs. Mum was going mad, shouting, what's wrong with you? Dad's reply was priceless. Rosie just bit my frickin' balls.
Oh.
Mum's reply was even better. Be careful, you're getting blood on the carpet.
Classic.
This is just chaos. I love it. As she walked downstairs to make the tea, Dad had forgotten. Oh, that was okay. That was happening as she. Yeah. So what happened was Dad bent down to open Rosie's crate. She looked up and thought, what the hell are those things dangling there? We've had this from a cat.
We have.
But not a dog. Then she jumped up and grabbed a hold of his nut sack. Well, I should add, Rosie was about 3.5 months old with teeth like hypodermic needles. Dad stood up. He's 6'5" with a 15 kg slab of Labrador puppy hanging off his balls, back legs off the ground, trying to play tug of war. The more he shouted it, the more she thought it was a game. He stood in the shower yelling, I'm bleeding to death. Mum came back upstairs and said, that's your tea, stop making so much noise. The neighbours will wonder what's going on. Anyway, try giving birth. And then she just walked out to get dressed. Mic drop. Dad made a full recovery. It was touch and go on whether or not he'd lose one of his or both of his plums, as he calls them, but he managed to keep the set. Now he only lets the dogs out fully clothed, which, to be honest, is a blessing for the entire house. He's getting on a bit now. He's 47 and everything's just a bit saggy and gross. There are so many more stories I could tell you about my dad, like when he ran himself over with the garden roller and broke his foot. Mum told him he was stupid. He had to drive himself to the hospital. Fuck, I love your household. Or when he was breaking up pallets to make a fire and he stamped on one end and drove a nail straight through his foot and through the top of his shoe. So what did he do? He stamped on the other end of the plank to hold it still while he pulled the nail out. Except he didn't check first, and yep, he stamped on another nail.
Yuck.
So there he was, nailed to a plank of wood, looking like a plastic soldier. He's such an idiot, but he's my idiot. Anyway, lads, great work. Love the podcast. Up the mother heckin' one. Sophie, age 16, West Sussex, United Kingdom.
Amazing.
I'm just going to go.
Take your victory lap, soldier. You've earned your stripes.
I'm just picking up what she's putting down. The first war story was cracking.
It was amazing.
I've got a soft spot for Sophie, though. Like, I just love their whole household.
And the fact that she's probably hijacked his email and sent a story about him.
He wouldn't even know it's happening.
He's going to listen to this and be like, what the heck is happening and how did this even come about?
So good.
Yep.
Elite
Power
level.
move.
Well done.
Back to back.
That'll do for the podcast. Like I said earlier in the podcast, best way to support us to continue making this content is to become Sniper Elite. If you want to, if you've burnt through all the other episodes, if not, there's a snotload of free ones. Like I say, ad free if you do go Sniper Elite though. And videos, YouTube, Spotify, where else we put them? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And if you're new to the podcast as well, there is the best place on the internet. It's called the Sniper's Nightmare Facebook group. Find that, fill out the form, jump in there, and you'll find 200,000 other people that listen to the podcast and are just the best humans. Tig does a great job of releasing all of the content and filtering out the stuff that's slightly too fucked up.
There's a lot of fucked up shit.
She's battle-hardened now, though. Nothing much surprises her.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I've seen a lot of blood and open wounds.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's not actually all
Sure.
about that. So have a great rest of your Thursday. Thank you for joining us once again. Welcome to all the new listeners. Absolute beasts. It's a hissing at the moment. We love it. We love bringing it to you. Jay will be back full strength next week, I would imagine. Myself and Teagues will be back tomorrow for another Not For Radio. Go well, go long, and up the waz.